ladies and gentlemen, India is all set to take over the presidency of the powerful G20 from current chair Indonesia on the 1st of December. And yesterday, Prime Minister Modi unveiled the logo of India's G20 presidency, depicting India's national flower, the lotus, with the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family with one future. The Prime Minister today said that the 7 petals on the lotus represented the 7 continents of the globe and also the 7 notes of music and the 7 oceans that there are. It portrays the cultural heritage and diversity of India and is a symbol of hope for a world torn by conflict and chaos. No matter the circumstances, the lotus will always bloom, he said. Listen in.
आज जो ये लोगो लॉन्च हुआ है, उसके निर्माण में भी देशवासियों की बड़ी भूमिका रही है। साथियों, G20 का ये लोगो केवल एक प्रतीक चिन्ह नहीं है, ये एक संदेश है, ये एक भावना है जो हमारी रगों में है। ये एक संकल्प है जो हमारी सोच में शामिल रहा है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम के मंत्र के जरिए विश्व बंधुत्व की जिस भावना को हम जीते आए हैं, वो विचार इस लोगो और थीम में प्रतिबिंबित हो रहा है। इस लोगो में कमल का फूल, भारत की पौराणिक धरोहर, हमारी आस्था, हमारी बौद्धिकता, इन सबको एक साथ चित्रित कर रहा है।
But this symbol of hope is now being politicized by the opposition in India. The Congress party has raised questions on the BJP using the lotus, which is also the BJP's party symbol, as the G20 logo. The Congress, giving India's first Prime Minister Nehru's reference, said that it was Nehru who rejected the proposal to make Congress flag the flag of India and that it was shameful that the BJP was using its own party symbol as the G20 logo. The opposition perhaps believes that the Kamal or the lotus only belongs to the BJP and not to Bharat. Listen in.
Jairam Ramesh has aptly put it, independence, when it was suggested that the Congress flag should be the flag of India. Nehruji rejected that. So that shows that a democracy, and that shows that there is a difference between the government and party. That seems that they are promoting themselves.
देखिए, बीजेपी के लिए तो देश जो है ना, देश से कोई मतलब नहीं है। ये राजनीतिक दल है। ये जैसे पाकिस्तान में आर्मी है, तो ये बीजेपी इस देश में ये है। सबसे बड़े फ्रॉड है। अफसोस की बात है कि हर चीज मोदी जी इसको पॉलिटिकल बनाते हैं।
कमल का फूल इस एम्बलम में कहां से आ गया? और वो सरकार जो अपने ही देश के 20 करोड़ लोगों के खिलाफ सुबह शाम नफरत फैलाती हो, वो वन अर्थ वन फैमिली का नारा दे रही है। कौन यकीन करेगा? इस एम्बलम को हटाना चाहिए।
एक्चुअली भाजपा इतने ज्यादा इलेक्शन मोड पे रहती है कि उनको हर जगह आगे आहे बगाहे उनको सिर्फ इलेक्शन और अपना पार्टी का जो चिन्ह है वो नजर आता है। क्या आप इंटरनेशनली भी ये बताना चाहते हैं कि देश सिर्फ भाजपा है और देश सिर्फ कमल है?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Congress has maybe forgotten that in 1950, India had used lotus as a national flower, not through a legal process, but just named it like that. Just like India's national anthem, our national flag is India's pride, so is the lotus. In 1950, under the Congress regime, lotus was declared the national flower. In 1954, a tradition of lotus-embedded Padma Awards was instituted. And Padma, meaning lotus itself, is something that has continued since several decades. The same year, the National Film Awards, the Swarna Kamal, the Rajat Kamal Awards were also started to be given out. This all started under the Congress regime. Listen in to the BJP's response and fight back to the Congress's objections.
Don't know the significance of the lotus in Indian culture. Lotus is a symbol of hope. Kichad में भी वो flower होकर, it is a symbol of it's a symbol of hope, which the Congress party, of course, naturally is not aware of. So if their vote bank politics does not come in the way, I urge the Congress party to go and read up.
कमल आज से हजारों वर्षों से भारत और भारतीय संस्कृति में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण। वैसे उनको कष्ट भले ही हो, परंतु यह सत्य है। तो लक्ष्मी जी भी कमल पर विराजती हैं और सरस्वती जी भी कमल पर विराजती हैं। तो जो कमल का विरोध करने की बात करते हैं, तो ये निश्चित रूप से भारतीय संस्कृति और हिंदू धर्म के प्रति एक और अवमानना का प्रतीक है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का निशान तो 1984 में बना और भारत का राष्ट्रीय फूल ये नेहरू युग में बना था। जहां तक कांग्रेस इस पर आपत्ति जता रही है, भूल रही है कि कमल के इस निशान पर तिरंगे झंडे की छाप है। तो राष्ट्रीय ध्वज और राष्ट्रीय फूल पर कांग्रेस की आपत्ति न सिर्फ उसका दिवालियापन दिखाती है, बल्कि उस ओछापन को दिखाती है कि एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अवसर पर जब भारत का सम्मान बढ़ रहा है, भारत उसकी अध्यक्षता कर रहा है, भारत उसे अपने यहाँ कर रहा है, तब कांग्रेस पार्टी आपत्ति कर रही है।
So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight: can the Congress accept India's pride, or does it have a problem with it? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side. Hashtag G20 Lotus logo row. The debate coming up.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson and Member of Parliament of the BJP, Suhel Seth, columnist, Ishkaran Bhandari, Advocate Ghanshyam Tiwari, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Mr. A. Sarvanan, Spokesperson of the DMK. But my first question goes to Mr. Lokesh Jindal, Leader of the Congress Party. And Lokesh Jindal, why do you have a problem with the Lotus? National Flower, Padma Awards, we've given you the list. And if you go by party symbols, then my friend, I can't use my hand from today, from tomorrow, because Ghanshyam Tiwari's party symbol is a cycle. Nobody in India can use a cycle. I cannot use my spectacles because this is the election symbol of the INLD. Also, we cannot use bulbs anywhere because that is also somebody's election symbol. Elephant should be banned from India because that is the election symbol of the Bahujan Samaj Party. Where are we going?
Navika, I just heard the Prime Minister's address, and he stated that Lotus symbolizes hope, which is not correct. Lotus symbolizes purity. Hope as an expression is symbolized by peacock. Secondly, when the Prime Minister says that there are 7 pankhudis, 7 petals, which are symbolizing diversity, that if he wanted to symbolize diversity, he could have used other flowers so as to symbolize varied expression, that people from all walks, they are also symbolized over here. Secondly, he talks about goddesses, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Saraswati, who are placed on lotus. So let me tell you, nowhere in the Shastras we had the goddess Prithvi that was based on lotus. So either you separate lotus from religion, or when you are trying to symbolize lotus, do it in a secular manner. But what is happening is, over here, BJP, it has played a trick of resorting to marketing its own political symbol, its own political party, under the garb of the G20 event that is happening. So if you look at the symbol itself, now if you just show the symbol to the audience, now over here in front of the globe you see the lotus is kept. Nowhere can we see the other 2 petals in the 3D visualization. They should have been behind that entire globe, but it is just a misfit. It is as if after the entire logo was finalized, there was some form of a force that you better have the Lotus brought in front of that entire world image. So
Lokesh Jindal, if you can't see two petals, my friend, then you need the party symbol of the INLD. I'm willing to give you my spectacles. It is the party symbol of the INLD. Please use it because I can see 7. You can see 5. ये तो you know आपके दिलो दिमाग पर बीजेपी इतना छा गया है कि आपको कोई भी कमल पांच पेटल्स वाला कमल ही नजर आता है. ये आपकी आंखों का भ्रम है या आपके दिमाग का भ्रम है, मैं नहीं जानती. पर जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव, why did you not use other flowers? But because according to Mr. Lokesh Jindal, other flowers are better than using the national flower. And he says...
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
Because you have a problem with the lotus and you're suggesting that other flowers should be used. And maybe every petal should be a petal from another flower. One petal of the lotus, one petal of the rose, one of the sunflower, one of the poppy. You know,
how can you say that the other petals of a same flower are denoting diversity? That's nowhere. I mean, the point is the symbolization and the explanation.
I correct myself. If you show only one flower, which is the lotus, and only one flower's petals, then it does not denote diversity. You should have had different flowers and different petals, number one. And number two, he says lotus is actually campaigning and masquerading as an international symbol is the BJP symbol. Now respond to him, GVL.
Navika, good evening to you and all the panelists. But I can only express shock at the pettiness and the ideological bankruptcy of the Congress party. I think what Honorable Prime Minister has done is to unveil logo, website, app, on the eve of India assuming presidency of the G20 group. This is a moment of pride for the country. It's a great opportunity for the country to showcase it to the world, to influence the welfare of the world, to influence the agenda, global agenda. I think when India is entering into such a critical and a very a praiseworthy and a proud moment, all that you see is pettiness with the Congress party. Is it the case of the Congress party that BJP is trying to popularize Lotus symbol in 20 countries so that we want to go global with our political agenda? Is Rahul Gandhi scared that Congress, the BJP might actually go across the world and become the ruling party in the world? I think where is this insecurity for the Congress party coming from? This is a moment of pride. Sir. We are, the G20 group accounts for over 75% of the global trade, 85% of the global GDP, and you are going to be, for a year, the presidency, you are holding the presidency of this. So all that the Congress party has, and there are about 200 meetings which are proposed to be held as part during the period of this presidency around the country, mostly events in different sectors of the economy. Does anyone, I think you need to have some brains to really make such a silly comment. And if you're saying that we have done this to gain publicity, I think you have given us more publicity today for this than we would have got holding 200 meetings around the country on this.
Well then maybe you should pay them a royalty instead. And let me get in the man who's often written slogans for various ads and various campaigns. Suhel Seth, do you think the lotus is not well used by the BJP in the logo of the G20 for which India is getting the presidency? All kinds of objections have come that more dikhana chahiye tha because more is hope and lotus is purity. So lotus is wrong over there. If we had shown the peacock, then they would have found something else to say about it. And then they say that how can you rest the globe on a lotus? Because I don't know, some science tells us that we can't do that in a logo. Suhel Seth?
Actually, it's the wrong logo. the logo should have been the G23. Only then would the Congress have been happy. I think it is bizarre. You know, Lokesh is a very bright man most of the time, but he has to defend the indefensible. They have a problem for every solution. Every solution, Congress ke paas ek problem. Now let me give you a 2.0 version on branding and marketing. No one counts the petals when you see a logo. If I ask you how many squares are there in a particular brand logo, you won't have a clue. People assimilate a logo as one unit, A, B. I'm not even bothered about the Lotus and, you know, how many petals, which petal is coming up in 3D. That's not the argument. The argument is it a great logo? In my mind, it's not. By the way, as a logo, it's not. But my objection is to the overarching unit. I have no problems with, the Lotus or what do you want them to do? Put all the flowers? Are they talking about the G20 presidency or are they announcing a floral show? This is not the horticultural gardens event of the year. Now let me come to the other point. I think what you've missed out, Lokesh, and your entire team in the Congress is the slug line below. One earth, one family, one future. That, to my mind, is represented very well with the globe resting on the flower. You see, don't imagine that, BJP is maybe politics career. As GVL said, you know, in 2024, perhaps Trump will announce his candidature, not Narendra Modi. He will be busy with India. So they're not trying to win elections overseas. The other point is, sometimes it's important to be graceful. This is a logo developed for a presidency which makes India proud, which makes every Indian proud. You know, when you do the kind of pettiness that you're indulging in, you actually upset Indians because they turn around and say, yaar, isme bhi inko problem hai. Now, here's my thing. No one in the BJP is that sharp, to my mind, to put a flower and then rest the globe and then say, will there be an objection? It's a logo. It's one single unit. And by the way, I have to give credit to Modi. The rationale for the logo has been well articulated. Starting from the Buddha, talking about peace, talking about the universality. I think it's fun. No, 1 minute. Did I interrupt you? Put your finger down. Put your finger down.
I'm not interrupting.
When I need your advice, I'll rattle your cage. Let me finish. So the point is, this is a single unit for a single presidency which India is going to assume. Navika Kumar rightly said, tomorrow you put anything. If we had put the rose, GVL would have objected. If we had put the bicycle, then Sham would have objected. If we had put the broom, Aam Aadmi Party would have objected ki hamara aapne symbol le liya. I mean, where does a person go in this country? Y'all infest politics into everything. It's almost as if a guy is going for a walk, you will find a politically upsetting idiom to challenge him or her on. Relax. Learn to be graceful. Learn to be happy. Every day to express your frustration through anger, through nitpicking, through pettiness is not going to win you an election. It'll only upset people and it will make you look stupid, that too on prime time, on Navika's show, which is hugely watched. I mean, why would you want to carry forward that insult where people are saying, yaar, Lokesh to itna bright aadmi hai, aaj isne ye baat kaise keh di? They don't know the backstory. Ki bichara Lokesh kare to kare kaha, kya? Jaye to jaye kaha. So my advice to you, my young friend, is analyze logos in their entirety. Logos are but a symbol of communication for a different brand promise. The brand promise here is one earth, one family, one future. And my last piece of advice to you, Lokesh, is when will the Congress try and be part of the Indian family? You had one family rule you, you at least know the importance of a family. Now expand that one family into a universal family and rejoice in it. It's a day of celebration.
Well said. Well said, Suhel Seth.
Let me reply, please. Let me reply.
Okay.
Let me reply.
Okay, respond.
Sir, I would like to congratulate Suhel, sir, for admitting that the logo is not that great. Because he also knows it very well with the years of his expertise that it could have been done better. And secondly, when you're talking about
no, that's my personal opinion on a logo.
Please, sir, please, let me.
See how it irritates you if someone interrupts.
I learned it from you. I learned it from you. So when you're talking about articulation of logo, then we all know that every object is associated with certain symbol which stands in its entirety. So you cannot have a cat being saying that a cat is depicting valor and strength and majestic. That's attributed to a lion. So similarly, you can Google anywhere, everywhere, even the Shastras, they have attributed lotus with purity, not with hope. It is the peacock and the grand feathers that it has that is associated with God's power and hope. So when the Prime Minister...
My friend, Lokesh, if that is your case, may I tell you the lotus is one of Buddhism's most recognizable symbols of enlightenment and is important in many Buddhist traditions. According to legend, everywhere the baby Buddha stepped, a lotus flower bloomed. The famed Lotus Sutra is one of the most important texts of the Mahayana Buddhism and is the foundation of the pure land of schools and also depicts peace. And when the Prime Minister said there is a strife-torn world around us, then he is also talking about bringing peace. And I don't know, I would like to make a proposition here that somewhere or the other, the lotus's association with the Buddhist religion, with the Hindu religion, probably upsets you, because so long as Padma Awards were created by the Congress party, you were happy with the lotus being depicted on various awards. But today, you have a problem with it because I don't know why. And Sudhanshu Trivedi articulated it. But let me get in Ghanshyam Tiwari. Ghanshyam Tiwari, is your problem that the lotus depicts purity and not hope? And that is why it's intellectually dishonest as a symbol. Is that what you want to say?
Well, good evening, Navika ji, to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. There are three things. One is that India is assuming the presidency and the government of India has decided on a logo. It is great. The message sits in the most powerful message, one of the most powerful messages, which is our civilizational message, which is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So it is a good message to send to the world, especially right now.
Okay, so congratulate GVL Narasimha Rao. Congratulate GVL Narasimha Rao.
Why? Does he represent India? What are you talking about?
Because if the lotus represents BJP...
No, एक second, please. You may think BJP is India. I don't think so. You may think that BJP is Buddhist Janata Party. I think it is Bharatiya Janata Party. And the lotus that you talk about, if BJP has spoken about lotus in the past 8 years, it's their symbol. It is BJP that have hijacked lotus as their symbol. And now you are telling us, no, it's not their symbol. It is Buddhist symbol. It is Buddhist symbol. Now you are telling us, no, it is India's civilizational symbol. Look, if purity is what lotus represents, then BJP must immediately drop it, at least with respect to the Sanatan Dharma, because at no level BJP respects and represents purity. Do you think that Prime Minister represents purity with all the fake news and fake promises? Or do you think Amit Malviya and GVL Narasimha Rao represent purity on everyday Twitter, the kind of hate that BJP ecosystem creates? So let us not say that BJP represents purity and Lotus represents purity. There's an elected government. They have decided on a symbol. This is immaterial what that symbol is. It would have been better if that symbol did not associate with BJP's election symbol. But if they have decided, and we go along with that.
Okay. Election symbol. I didn't understand. Are you happy? Do you have no objections with the symbol for the logo for the G20 that India assumes as a presidency?
Do you think that at a time when there is massive unemployment, the civic infrastructure is not good, you have Morbi tragedy, there are enough reasons to be unhappy. This is a trivial matter that who likes the symbol, who does not. The government of India has decided a symbol. As far as my happiness or unhappiness is concerned, you measure this government on any performance and then ask, am I happy? Am I happy with their track record on economy, on employment?
I'm surprised you agreed to come for this debate despite knowing that you didn't have a view on the symbol, and I'm surprised that your view has changed in the last 10 minutes, because on my Hindi show, when I had you had great objections to this logo, but obviously after the viewers' questions, you realized that you needed to change tack. Smart. I love people who change tack, learn from their follies, and move on to a new road. Ishkaran Bhandari, do you think it's time to congratulate Ghanshyam Tiwari? Because I can put out his objections just about 15 minutes ago.
Please do. I mentioned that you look at the G20 logos of other countries and they represent their flags, they represent their national symbols. So if I can argue, if I have to argue like BJP, I will say BJP hates in national flag, and that is why they are not representing national flag. I don't want to argue
you
like BJP.
Possibly don't see the national flag's colors in the logo, but that's your point. Ishkaran Bhandari.
National flags could be everywhere. That's not the point. The point is other countries have represented their national flags in most of the logos. You can show that to the viewers and they can make it out.
Okay, Ishkaran Bhandari.
Navika ji, we knew who used to write very differently Urdu newspapers in UP and speak very differently on English news channels. I'm happy Mr. Tiwari has also joined the gang of speaking differently in Hindi and speaking differently in English. He should have the same views. But let us come to the topic at hand, which is very important. Firstly, please understand how duplicitous the entire debate is. Look at the flag of Congress. Look at the Indian national flag. Look at the color scheme. Mr. Suhel Seth would tell you if any company had the same color scheme, the same combination, a trademark infringement suit would lie and they would not be allowed to use it. Here, we have had the same colors being used throughout the era, which are deceptively similar, which no two companies would be able to use. But Congress flag, Indian national flag, I would say it's almost identical except for small differences.
Know the flag,
so that nobody, please don't
GSP.
interrupt, please don't. Navika ji, we can't have a debate like this. Talk to anybody, just Google it, Mr. Suhel Seth will tell you, any lawyer will tell you that you are absolutely similar.
It's very much similar to
Can I finish? Navika ji, this is not the way we can have a debate.
Look,
Navika ji, can I
allow Ishkaran Bhandari to complete his point, and then
if these people are ignorant of law, they do not know color schemes can be deceptively similar and you can get trademark infringements, then I can't help them, I can't educate them. Even color schemes are protected when they are very, very distinctive, which is very distinctive with Indian national flag, which is absolutely similar to the Congress flag. But be that aside, I can't give them legal lessons. Please understand what is happening here. There is a complete Modi derangement symbol. If you use national emblem, they have a problem. If you use national flower, they have a problem. Tomorrow they will have a problem with national anthem. Then they will have problem with the nation itself, which is also logical because they have the problem with people being called Hindu, which their MLA just recently had. So the problem has basically become this. I will not go into why Lotus is important to the civilization of Bharat, be it art, be it culture, be it religion. Everything has been well documented. The basic problem is anything to do with Bharat or any decision by the government, it has to be opposed. I don't know whether in the opposition to Modi, they have started opposing everything Bharat. If they are doing, please stop. That is why they have been relegated to dustbins of history in politics. Stop it. Rethink about India, rethink about Bharat, learn certain basic facts and stop opposing for the sake of opposing. And finally, please change your Congress flag if you are so bothered about deceptively similar images.
Well, hands are going up. I'm coming to you, Mr. Saravanan, but do you have a factual problem, Ghanshyam Tiwari, with what Ishkaran Bhandari said?
Yes. Ishkaran's guru writes, Modi government has buckled on G20 meet. It was earlier announced that it will be held in Srinagar in J&K. Then the China growled and Pakistan went yap yap. Modi government then chickened and has decided to hold G20 meet in Delhi, maybe Pragati Maidan 54-inch chest, July 3 to 2022. Does Ishkaran agree with this point? Was he talking about Dr. Subramanian Swamy when he was talking about dislike for Modi and disliking India and disliking Modi? All this speech, do you agree to this point of view, Ishkaran Bhandari?
I speak for myself. I am nobody's spokesman.
Yeah, that's you chickened out, right?
I will only speak for myself.
You can chicken out.
To me,
let me answer, Baba. But the point is
I don't chicken out. Let me answer.
The truth.
Navika, if a question is asked to me, I deserve to have the time to answer it.
You chickened out.
He's answering you. He's answering you. Just hold on for a second. Answer, Ishkaran.
I have a very direct and to the point answer. I speak for myself. To me, objecting to this symbol is not required. I am speaking for myself. I have not seen the tweet you are allegedly speaking. I don't know what you are speaking. My answer is very simple. Anybody opposing to national emblem, national flower, national song, national anthem is not required. Now, why are you getting so nervous?
That's not a question.
Differently.
That's not a question.
Exactly.
I asked a direct question.
And that is the question I want to ask Mr. Saravanan. Mr. Saravanan, do you have also a problem with the Lotus that is being depicted? Do you think it is a BJP election symbol, party symbol, and therefore it should not have been used in the G20? Does the DMK believe so?
Yeah, see, the elections are around the corner, and Lotus is the symbol of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And at this juncture, can the Prime Minister could have unveiled a logo which is his own party's symbol at a prestigious international event. So this is a question of propriety. But can we expect propriety from BJP? So we cannot. This is one aspect. And all these other speakers are talking about pettiness. We are all very frustrated. Pettiness is arresting someone just because you are a political opponent. The court today, in the case of Mr. Sanjay Rawat, had indicted the Enforcement Directorate that it is an illegal arrest. This is pettiness. And the others speak about frustration. The frustration is the 2 crore jobs for the youth has not materialized. That is frustration. 140 people have died in the Morbi bridge collapse. And what are we doing? We are arresting the ticket collectors. That is the frustration we are talking about. And please don't equate BJP with India. Both are not the same. This is the important aspect. The only thing is, we cannot expect that the BJP will act in a very magnanimous manner. They want to milk every opportunity. If there is...
so elections are around the corner, GVL Narasimha Rao, and therefore it's not proper. It's against propriety that this Lotus has been used in the logo. Respond to that charge.
Navika, it's not the people of Tamil Nadu. I think Saravanan should know they are really frustrated because his government is playing politics over terrorism. Because you are talking about frustrations, I want to tell the people of this country are frustrated with your government for passing off acts of terror as accidents, number one. And we are not as pure as some sci-fi Samajwadi party. He thinks we are not as pure as Lotus. Therefore, he thinks we cannot lay claim to the symbol. So, will Samajwadi party stop using cycle as a symbol? Because seeing cycle on the road, people might get tempted to vote for this party. That is not happening. But is that something they will consider? I see not just pettiness, also some amount of jealousy towards the BJP. So you will use any opportunity to somehow vent out your anger and frustration in the hope that people will fall for such pettiness. What is the problem with this logo? I can't understand. Nobody has made any sensible point in the last 30 minutes. I think the Congress party is stooping low only to gain television mileage and coverage, because they have not done anything useful for the people of this country. There are no valid, any kind of considerations, any kind of valid points being made on this debate. I'll be happy to respond. Only if you make a sensible comment. What on earth? Any
try again. Lokesh Jindal, try again. What's your problem with the logo? What's your problem with the logo? Purity, hope. I mean, all these, frankly, don't make any sense to anybody. So try again. If you have a really logical point, please say it.
Navika, now in fact, a senior member from BJP, he said that Congress, what is that it has done for the country. So let me tell you, the very essence of G20, the very essence of sustainable development that G20 emphasizes upon is something that Congress has been committed to, which your government is simply undoing it in this country. There has been an increased concentration of wealth in the hands of few. There has been unemployment. There has been an increase in suffering of the masses. Now, the demonetization issue, the entire nation knows that it is going to be a slap on the face of the government. And you say that what has Congress done for the country? The Congress created institutions on which you are claiming your own success. And you have not done anything. The very PSUs that you are selling and you are claiming that that is increasing your fiscal deficit and all, it was created by Congress. The very institutions, whether it is with respect to industry,
is it your point that the Congress never had a disinvestment agenda? Suhel Seth, how false is this argument that is given by Mr. Lokesh Jindal? Disinvestment was always on the Congress's agenda. They couldn't do it. It's being done by the BJP. But if they do it, it's fine. If BJP does it, it's wrong. And that's a facile argument to give at this point. The question here is BJP symbol being used on the logo is misuse of the party symbol and politics, what have you. In which case, I come back to the issue. So nobody should ride a bicycle in this country because that happens to be the symbol of the Samajwadi Party. Nobody should use spectacles. Nobody should, even look at elephants anywhere in this country. And nobody should use their hands because that happens to be the Congress's symbol.
So I think Saravanan made a very important point when he said that elections are on the corner. But elections in India are happening every year. They're always on the corner. They're always around the corner, number one. Number two, this is not a debate about your political differences. You know, Saravanan wants to abuse GVL wants to abuse, that's fine. This is a simple debate on whether this logo is good, bad, indifferent, whether it is politically motivated, whether the Lotus has any relevance as a standalone. You know, arguments on logos can be given by everyone. Because creativity is something that every human being is entitled to have an opinion and almost always does. Ishkaran made a valid point. You know, trademark infringement is a very, very critical thing. Plus, the outreach of this logo is more external than internal. You know, I don't want to get into the debate whether Srinagar will host it or Delhi will host it. No one cares. The point I'm making is about grace. It is about the ability not to find fault with everything, which makes you look silly. So actually the problem is not the logo. The problem is with which you confront national issues such as the unveiling of a logo for a presidency that has come to us for the first time. I mean, this is something that we need to be united on and united for. To find fault with this, then this gets amplified. I mean, it's an erroneously facetious, pernicious argument. I mean, everyone has an opinion. Now, you know, people are saying, oh, but you could have, why have you got 2 petals? Why have you got 4 petals? Analysis leads to paralysis. We want this country to move forward. Yes, unemployment, jobless growth, those are issues for another debate. Today, the topic very clearly is that is this a manipulation? And I don't believe it's a manipulation.
Absolutely. And whether this depicts our country's culture, ethos...
One minute, Navika, one point I want to raise. On 1st of December,
he has the courage even to interrupt the anchor.
And look at my grace. And look at my grace. I'm learning from you. I'm showing grace. I'm giving him an opportunity to speak, even though he's showing none.
He will also get suspended. He's behaving like Sanjay Shah.
30 seconds, make your point, Lokesh Jindal.
On 1st of December, the presidentship is coming to India. And on 16th of December, the entire country knows that there is going to be the NCD polls. And the entire Delhi is going to be colored with the symbol. And there has to be a propaganda.
Listen, I worry for you.
This very logo...
I worry for you.
G20 elections. G20 is now being equated to the NCD elections in Delhi. The municipal corporation elections in Delhi is what the G20 logo is being compared to. Now, if this is not bankruptcy of the Congress's logic or politics, then I don't know what is. I really don't know. I'm at a total loss for words. Suhel is saying something.
Come together. No, I think we need to come together and worry for Lokesh. He's a good man who's completely gone astray. I mean, I have never seen
I
such
don't know.
intellectual innocence.
Good men or
come to
not,
the
if you're
fore.
the
I mean, now you're
agency
saying
that
because
certifies
MCD
it, I
polls
don't
are
know,
there,
but today
let's not have the logo.
he's sounding
Sir, I
like
have
he's
immense
lost it.
respect for you.
He's lost the
Trust me.
plot.
Great respect for you. Reverend.
Ishkaran, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Navika ji, I won't be surprised tomorrow if they say the entire rotation of presidency was planned for the MCD polls. India is a true global
Sanjay Tiwari, you think this is about the MCD polls?
Well, obviously not, and I think there is no.
Modi, I don't think has so much of guile.
साइकिल पे अब फिर से उतार दिया आपको साइकिल से भी उतार दिया लोकेश जिंदल. Even घनश्याम तिवारी does not agree with you. GVL Narasimha Rao, you look stunned. Do you have something to say on this?
Navika, I am at a loss of words, because this is flippancy at its worst. I think how can you link G20 presidency logo launch with MCD polls? I think can the Congress party get anything better? I think is everyone trying to imitate the intellectual capabilities of its leader?
The entire
are they finding this is? I think this is the lowest level.
Politicizes every opportunity.
I think we can promote BJP and Lotus far better. We don't need logos.
Well, I'll just have to leave it at that, because this argument really takes the cake. We were talking about the cultural symbolism, the religious symbolism, the peace, the fact that in the Puranas, the mention of Kamal and Padma is there. There is the Padma Puran as well. Vishnu Brahma being connected to the lotus. I thought all of this cultural heritage, and not to forget Lakshmi and Saraswati. But when you, Lokesh Jindal, compare this as misuse of a symbol for the MCD elections, I really don't have anything much to say. Well, the Congress party, I just hope you well, and I hope you get your act together, because you really need to. You really need to get a few more ideas before the Congress is completely going to walk into the sunset. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.